Hello everybody, hope everybody's having a great day. So far my day's been pretty good. We're headed to turkey bingo, having turkey bingo over in Whiting here in just a little while. Went and ate lunch with SD Mountain Man and his wife. We met at Bob's Bar in Martinsburg, Nebraska, home of the big burgers. They have great big burgers. They're only like $6.50. And they have other sides like cheese balls, french fries, and all the good stuff, mushrooms. It was a great time visiting with them. I want to tell you a funny story happened to us yesterday. I had an aunt that passed away. It was my Uncle Henry, my dad's brother Henry. It was his wife that passed. The celebration of life was over in Erwin, Iowa. And it's about, I don't know, hour and 15 minutes from here. But anyhow, we drove over to that, and I told my wife to type in Erwin, Iowa, so I know there's two routes I could have gone, and I wanted to go a certain route. So she put it in on the phone, but she said, well, I'll get the exact address we need to go to. And I said, just type in Erwin, Iowa. It's a real small town. We'll be able to find the building that this the celebration of life is going to be at. I said, so just type in Erwin, Iowa. I'll find the place when we get in town. No, your cousin Sherry, she posted on Facebook. I'll get the exact address. I said, okay. And I said, because you know how women are, they want to do it their way. So that's what she done. She typed in this address that my cousin posted on Facebook. It drives us right to this place. Pull into the parking lot or parking spot along the street. This building is along the street. And I looked up and it said City Hall on top of the building, old building, you know. And what amazed me is there was actually empty spots in the parking right in front of the building, you know. And I thought, we're a little early, but I'm surprised that these spots aren't full already, you know. People have to park on the other side of the street. So we had front row parking right in front of the door. My wife says, so I got to go to the potty. And my mom says, I do too. I'm going to go first. First thing we get here, I'm going to go. I said, okay. So we get out. My wife goes in. Mom goes in. We said, where's the bathroom? Heidi said, oh, it's right here. Well, there's a bathroom over to the right, bathroom to the left. Gentlemen's to the right, ladies to the left. So my mom went in there. Oh, it's just a one holer. You're going to have to wait, Heidi, your turn. Okay. So my mom goes in. We're standing there about a minute, and all of a sudden, I heard a voice say, hello? And my wife and I just looked at each other because we didn't hear no racket. And then pretty soon heard the voice again, hello? And my wife looks at me and she's like, hello back. And I said, are we in somebody's house? And about that time, a lady comes around the corner and she says, can I help you? And I said, is this somebody's house? Yes, it's my house. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, we must be in the wrong place. And she says, well, who are you looking for? And my wife says, well, we're here for the celebration of life for his aunt, Edith Beeler. And she says, oh, she says, yeah, I live here. She says, you're in the wrong place. Well, the address was 504 Ann Street. And she says, oh, she says, come here, I'll show you where you need to go. And we stepped outside the building and she pointed down the street. And she said, that white building down there, that's where it's at, I'm sure. She says, that's the fire station and like a community hall. And she says, I'm sure it's down there. Oh, okay. Well, we pulled up and said City Hall, and that was the address she put in the thing on Facebook, so we just assumed this was the right place. She laughed. She thought it was funny. She says, oh, she says, it happens to me all the time. And as she was laughing, and I said, really? People come here and people come in thinking they're at a City Hall or something? She said, yeah, it happens to me all the time. And I said, well, you need to start locking your doors to keep strange people like us out. And she just laughed and she says, yeah. And she says, I'll tell you. She says, this happens all the time. She says, look up. We were standing outside the building. And she says, look up there. She says, you see that? It's 3 floors. There's 3 floors to this building. And she says, up on 2nd floor is like my kitchen and dining room and living room and stuff. She says, but you go up 3rd floor. The only thing that's up on the 3rd floor is my bedroom. The big bed, dresser, you know, right when you come in there, up on 3rd floor, there's your bed and everything. And she says, I'll tell you a story. She said, that happened to me. She says, one day I'm sitting there at my dining room table. She said, I thought I heard something. And I turned and looked, and here comes this gentleman walking down the hall, comes walking right by my dining room table. And as he walks by, I just turn my head like this, watching him walk by. he goes on not past the dining room table down this other hall, and you go down there and there's the steps going up to the 3rd floor. And you could hear him going up steps to the 3rd floor. And it's really quiet, and then pretty soon you could hear him come back down the steps. And he come down the steps, walked out down the hall, walks right by my dining room table. As he comes through the doorway of the hallway, I just look at him as he walks on by, and he goes out the other doorway of the hall, headed down the hall and down the steps. And she says, I got up and looked, he made it down the steps and out the front door and was gone. And she says, so it does. I never said a word to that guy. I don't know who he was. And she laughed, and we laughed. It was comical, her telling a story that this strange guy come walking by and went up, made it to her bedroom and come back down. And I thought it was probably just as embarrassing for him as it was her. She never said a word to him. But we just busted a gut laughing. And she says, my mom was still in the bathroom at this time. We were outside, and then she says, has she ever used a bidet? There's a bidet in there. I hope she don't hit the wrong lever. She says she might get a shock. And we laughed. And she says, if you've never done one or experienced a bidet, she says, it's a shocker the first time you do it. And especially this one, it's only hooked up to cold water. And then, man, we just busted a gut laughing. And then after that, pretty soon my mom didn't know where we went. She peeks her head out the door, and she seen us standing outside. And she's like, oh, there you are. I was wondering where you left. And she's like, the lady said to my mom, says, oh yeah, they decided to come out once you were done using my bathroom. Oh, I'm sorry. She says, we didn't realize we're in the wrong place. She says, did you find out where we need to go? And the lady's like, yeah, down there. You know, I said, yeah, she told us. And then she asked us our names. We told her. I got a quick clip I'll put in here, and you'll get to meet the lady. Her name's Hope. And I have a sister-in-law named Hope. But there's a quick clip of it, and she was talking about it, and she said that they used to be gone 6 months out of the year. They only spend 6 months a year there, but since the pandemic, she says that they stay there. They don't travel or leave. They just been staying there. So it happens more often than what it used to, because they're only there half the time. But she says people come all the time like that, and the first thing when people come into a place, they look for the bathroom, and they end up using her bathroom. She says so it isn't the first time, but it was comical. We laughed about it coming home. We talked about it 2 different times, and both times we laughed just as hard as the next, you know. And then last night, of course, I called my son Tucker and told him about it, and he busted a gut laughing too. He thought it was comical. But if you were there, you would have been busting a gut, or had started talking about the story of it, us walking in there and being somebody's house. This old city hall is what it was. You'd laugh too. But anyhow, it was comical. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you enjoy this. Don't forget to keep watching. You're going to see the clip of Hope and us as we're getting ready to leave. See y'all later. And don't forget, I love you. Bye.
Well, I am so sorry. Do you know where the dinner is?
Yeah, it was down there.
Yeah. Down the street. 504 Ann Street. I don't know why we have the same address. Until the pandemic, we only lived here half the year. And so it didn't really matter because, you know, you're not here long enough to make a difference. And then pandemic, and we're here all the time. And so probably would be a good idea to get that straightened out. You're not our first few. No, I'm not kidding you. I am so sorry.
Oh. See ya.